The sun dipped low over the sprawling metropolis, painting the skyline in amber hues as the city buzzed with life. Among the crowd, Margot Robbie stood poised, her presence magnetic yet unassuming. Known worldwide for her talent, today she was not an actress but a fierce advocate for change. Her voice carried a quiet intensity, urging those gathered to unite for a cause close to her heart. Beside her, a small refugee girl named Sophia clung to the edges of the crowd, her wide eyes reflecting both fear and hope. Margot noticed her, drawn to the quiet resilience in the child's gaze. The streets around them hummed with possibility, the air thick with unspoken stories waiting to unfold. Margot knelt, meeting Sophia's eyes with a warmth that melted barriers. "What's your dream, Sophia?" The girl hesitated before whispering, "To belong." That single word carried the weight of countless struggles, igniting a spark in Margot's heart. As the city lights began to flicker to life, Margot made a promise, not just to Sophia but to every child longing for a chance. This was more than a moment, it was the start of something transformative, a ripple set to change lives. The city hummed with life, its streets alive with chatter and the scent of street food mingling with the crisp evening air. Towering skyscrapers reflected the golden hues of the setting sun, casting long shadows over the narrow alleys where stories of struggle and resilience unfolded daily. Amid this urban symphony, Margot Robbie stood as a beacon of hope, her presence magnetic yet unassuming. Her journey from a small-town girl in Australia to a globally renowned actress had shaped her into someone deeply empathetic, her fame a tool she wielded to uplift others. Margot's connection to young care ran deep. Her mother's lifelong dedication to working with children with disabilities had instilled in her a profound understanding of their challenges. This, coupled with personal friendships with young people requiring high care, fueled her unwavering commitment to the cause. Her relationship with the volunteers was warm and collaborative, each person inspired by her humility and drive. Among them was Daniel, a former beneficiary of Young Care, now a passionate advocate who shared Margot's vision. Together, they formed a dynamic duo, their shared mission creating an unspoken bond. Sophia, the young refugee, had arrived in the city with little more than hope and a suitcase of dreams. Her wide eyes took in the bustling streets, a mixture of fear and wonder etched across her face. The trauma of her past clung to her, but her spirit remained unbroken. When Margot approached her, Sophia felt an unfamiliar warmth, a fleeting sense of safety. Their connection was immediate, Margot's kindness unlocking a trust Sophia had long buried. The promise of a place in Young Care's program was more than an opportunity, it was a lifeline. As Sophia settled into her new life, the city became a backdrop for her transformation. The once overwhelming streets now felt alive with possibility. Margot and Daniel became her mentors, their guidance helping her navigate challenges. Sophia's resilience inspired those around her, her journey a testament to the power of compassion. The bond between the three deepened, their shared experiences creating a small but powerful family of choice. Together, they embodied the belief that even in a city of millions, individual connections could spark profound change. As tensions rose within the city, Margot discovered a shocking truth. Young Care's funding was being secretly siphoned by a powerful corporate entity tied to a corrupt politician. Determined to expose the scheme, Margot enlisted Sophia, now a bold advocate, to help uncover the conspiracy. Their investigation revealed hidden alliances, sparking a dangerous battle that threatened everything they had built. The golden hues of the setting sun painted the city in warmth as Margot Robbie led her team of volunteers with quiet determination. Her goal was clear, to expand Young Care's reach, ensuring more young people with disabilities could live independently. The challenge, however, was daunting. Limited funding and a growing list of those in need tested the group's resolve. Margot's passion for the cause inspired her team, but doubts lingered among them about achieving their ambitious goals. Amid the bustling event, Margot crossed paths with Sophia, a refugee struggling to adapt to her new life. The girl's shy demeanor masked a deep resilience, and Margot saw a reflection of her own determination in Sophia's eyes. Despite language barriers and Sophia's initial hesitation, Margot patiently listened, forging a bond that transcended words. This connection became a catalyst for Margot's renewed focus, pushing her to advocate for a broader inclusion of marginalized communities within YoungCare's mission. As the team worked tirelessly, tensions surfaced. Some volunteers questioned whether their resources could stretch far enough to help both the disabled and the displaced. Margot, however, encouraged open dialogue, fostering a sense of unity among the group. Her ability to balance compassion with pragmatism strengthened their resolve, and new partnerships began to form. Margot's relationship with Sophia deepened, with the young girl becoming a symbol of the transformative power of hope. Through persistence, the first breakthrough arrived. A local business agreed to sponsor additional housing units. The victory energized the team, and Sophia's growing confidence inspired others to believe in the impact of their work. Margot's unwavering commitment to creating a more inclusive future not only strengthened her own purpose but also ignited a collective determination to overcome the challenges ahead. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the city as Margot Robbie gathered the volunteers for a final briefing. Suddenly, a commotion broke out near the edge of the crowd. A man, disheveled and frantic, stumbled forward, clutching a crumpled letter. His voice trembled as he pleaded, "Please, someone help me. My daughter." The air grew heavy with tension. Margot stepped forward, her calm presence commanding attention. The man explained that his teenage daughter, a YoungCare participant, had vanished after leaving a nearby shelter. Authorities seemed overwhelmed, dismissing her disappearance as a runaway case. Margot's jaw tightened. She knew this was no coincidence. Determined, Margot rallied the volunteers, urging them to search the area. Sophia, watching from the sidelines, tugged at Margot's sleeve and whispered, "I saw her earlier, with someone who didn't seem right." Her words sent a chill down Margot's spine. Time was slipping away, and the stakes had never felt higher. As night fell, Margot's resolve deepened. This wasn't just about one girl, it was about confronting a system that failed the vulnerable. The search became a race against time, and Margot knew failure wasn't an option. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in hues of amber and violet as the city buzzed with life. Margot Robbie, her sleeves rolled up, worked alongside the volunteers, her energy infectious. Amid the crowd, a wiry man with a weathered face approached hesitantly. He introduced himself as Amir, a former teacher-turned-translator who had fled his war-torn homeland. His voice trembled as he explained his desire to help refugees like Sophia adjust to their new lives. Margot saw in him an ally, someone whose experience could bridge gaps she could not. Meanwhile, a local journalist named Elena observed from a distance, her notebook in hand. She had been following Margot's efforts for weeks, intrigued by the actress's genuine involvement. Elena's sharp instincts told her there was a deeper story to uncover, one that could inspire others to take action. She decided to shadow the group, hoping to amplify their mission. As the evening deepened, a challenge emerged. A miscommunication with city officials threatened to delay the construction of a new YoungCare facility. Margot, undeterred, gathered the volunteers for an impromptu meeting. Amir stepped forward with a solution, offering to use his language skills to mediate with officials and local immigrant communities. Sophia, now more confident, began forming friendships with other children in the program. One boy, Matteo, shared his dream of becoming an artist despite his physical limitations. Inspired, Margot proposed an art event to raise funds and awareness, giving the children a platform to showcase their talents. The city's lights flickered on, illuminating the faces of a growing community bound by shared purpose. Each person carried their own burden, but together, they began to weave a tapestry of resilience and hope. The sun dipped lower, shadows stretching across the city as Margot gathered the volunteers for a final briefing. Tension crackled in the air. YoungCare's funding had been slashed unexpectedly, jeopardizing their ability to expand the program. Margot's voice, though steady, carried an edge of urgency. We can't let bureaucracy decide these children's futures. We need to act now. Meanwhile, Sophia's situation grew more complicated. Her refugee status meant her placement in YoungCare's program faced legal hurdles. Margot wrestled with her growing frustration, torn between following protocol and using her influence to bypass red tape. The clock was ticking, and every delay risked Sophia's fragile hope. Complicating matters further, a rival organization began spreading rumors, accusing Margot of using YoungCare for publicity. The allegations cast doubt among donors, threatening to derail their efforts. Margot's resolve hardened, but the whispers of betrayal among her team deepened the cracks in their unity. As Margot navigated these challenges, Sophia's resilience emerged. The young girl began advocating for herself, inspiring other children in the program. This unexpected development added a layer of complexity to Margot's mission. Sophia's voice was powerful, but exposing her story could put her at risk. In the midst of escalating conflicts, Margot's personal life began to intrude. An estranged family member surfaced, seeking reconciliation but also stirring painful memories of her mother's struggles. This forced Margot to confront her own vulnerabilities, even as she fought to shield Sophia and YoungCare from external threats. The stakes rose with every passing day. Margot's determination to protect Sophia clashed with the growing pressures of public scrutiny and internal discord. Yet, amidst the chaos, a fragile thread of hope persisted, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, change was possible. The city buzzed with life as Margot Robbie, sleeves rolled up, worked alongside volunteers, her resolve unshaken. Amid the crowd, she spotted a man in a worn suit, his face lined with worry. He introduced himself as Daniel, a single father struggling to care for his son, Ethan, who had cerebral palsy. Margot listened intently, her empathy deepening with every word. Inspired by Daniel's story, Margot proposed expanding YoungCare's reach to include tailored programs for families like his. The idea sparked debate among the volunteers, some doubting the feasibility. Margot's determination, however, rallied the group, turning skepticism into action. As the initiative gained momentum, Margot faced backlash from critics accusing her of overstepping. The pressure mounted, and doubts crept in. Yet, a letter from Sophia, now thriving, reignited her resolve. "You taught me to believe in miracles," it read. Margot realized this was more than a project, it was a movement. She began organizing a citywide fundraiser, determined to secure resources. Her unwavering commitment inspired Daniel, who joined the campaign, his voice amplifying hers. The fundraiser approached, tensions high. Margot knew this was the turning point, a chance to prove that compassion could triumph over adversity. The golden hues of the setting sun painted the city in a fleeting warmth as Margot stood amidst the volunteers, her focus unwavering. The crowd buzzed with quiet anticipation, their collective energy palpable. Among them was Daniel, a young man whose sharp wit and resourcefulness had made him indispensable to the project. Yet, Margot couldn't ignore the tension between him and Claire, another volunteer whose meticulous nature often clashed with his improvisational approach. Their disagreements, though minor, hinted at deeper conflicts that could surface at a crucial moment. As the team prepared for an upcoming fundraising gala, Margot pulled Daniel aside, her tone firm but understanding. "We need unity," she said, her gaze steady. "Whatever's between you and Claire, resolve it. This isn't about us, it's about them." Daniel nodded, though a flicker of hesitation crossed his face. Margot couldn't shake the feeling that his silence held more than mere frustration. Meanwhile, Sophia, now a part of Younker's program, had begun forming bonds with the other children. Her laughter echoed through the halls, a sound that brought Margot a rare moment of peace. Yet, Sophia's past wasn't far behind. A man claiming to be her uncle had surfaced, his sudden appearance raising questions about his intentions. Margot's instincts told her to tread carefully, but the man's charm had already begun to sway some of the team. As the gala drew closer, the stakes grew higher. Margot's late-night meetings with the organization's board revealed a troubling truth. A rival group sought to discredit Youngcare, spreading rumors about mismanagement. The timing was no coincidence. Margot suspected the rival group had ties to someone within their circle, but she had no proof yet. In the days leading up to the event, Claire approached Margot with a revelation. "I overheard Daniel on a call," she confessed, her voice low. "He mentioned the rival group." Margot's chest tightened, torn between her trust in Daniel and the weight of Claire's words. Confronting him could fracture their fragile unity, but staying silent could risk everything they'd worked for. As the city lights flickered to life, Margot stood on the precipice of a decision that would shape not only the gala but the future of Youngcare. The air was thick with anticipation, alliances teetering on the edge of betrayal, and the promise of resolution just out of reach. The city buzzed with anticipation as Margot prepared for the final leg of the campaign. Youngcare was on the brink of unveiling its most ambitious project yet, a state-of-the-art facility designed to house and empower young people with disabilities. But obstacles loomed large. Funding had stalled, and a powerful corporate entity, threatened by the program's success, was lobbying against it. Margot, undeterred, rallied her team, determined to overcome the odds. Amid the chaos, Sophia faced her own challenge. A bureaucratic error threatened her place in the program, forcing Margot to confront the system head-on. It was a race against time, testing Margot's resolve and the unity of her team. As the sun set on the eve of the facility's opening, Margot stood before a crowd of supporters. Her voice carried the weight of their collective struggle. "This is about more than a building," she declared. "It's about dignity, independence, and the belief that everyone deserves a chance." Sophia, now finding her voice, stepped forward to share her story. Her words moved the crowd, galvanizing last-minute donors and silencing critics. Margot watched with pride as the young girl she had once comforted now inspired others. The next morning, the facility opened its doors. The culmination of countless sacrifices, it stood as a testament to resilience and compassion. As Sophia crossed the threshold, she turned to Margot and smiled, a silent promise to carry the torch forward. The sun dipped below the horizon as Margot Robbie stood before a packed auditorium, her voice steady and resolute. "We've proven what compassion can achieve," she declared, her gaze sweeping across the crowd. Sophia, now a confident young woman, stood beside her, a living testament to the transformative power of action. The audience erupted into applause as Sophia shared her journey, her voice trembling with emotion. Margot turned to the crowd, her words piercing the air. "This is just the beginning. Each of us has the power to create change. Volunteer, donate, or simply listen, every action counts. Her call to action resonated, inspiring countless individuals to step forward. As the event concluded, Margot embraced Sophia, their bond unspoken yet profound. The city lights illuminated their faces, a reminder that hope shines brightest in unity. Sophia's story, no longer one of struggle, had become a beacon for others, sparking a movement of compassion and empowerment. Margot walked away, her heart full, knowing the seeds of change had been planted. This was more than a moment, it was a legacy of kindness, urging all to rise and make a difference. The city buzzed with life as Margot Robbie reflected on how far they had come. Young Care had grown, its impact rippling through countless lives, and Sophia was now thriving, a beacon of resilience. Margot's unwavering commitment had not only changed Sophia's trajectory but also inspired volunteers and supporters to amplify their efforts. Sophia, now a young advocate, stood beside Margot, her voice steady as she championed the cause that had once saved her. Together, they called for others to join the mission, to support organizations like Young Care and ensure every individual, regardless of circumstance, could live with dignity and independence. Margot's journey was far from over, but she knew the seeds of compassion she had sown would continue to flourish. As the sun dipped below the skyline, she felt a quiet certainty. Hope was contagious, and the future held infinite possibilities.